The Kwid was that game-changing product that helped Renault's volume game, making it a household name in India. Today, about a decade later, I am standing with the 2024 model year Kwid, and a lot has changed. Not just with the car, but also with the market trend and the consumer preference. Today's car buyer is looking for a feature-rich, creature comforts-laden, tech-rich car and is willing to pay that premium. But has the Kwid caught up to that trend? Let's find out. But before we move ahead in this video, why don't you subscribe to Car and Bike, and while you're at it, do hit that bell notification as well so that you never miss an update from us. Over the years, the Kwid has gone through several small and big changes, and this current avatar with this chrome-laden grille, this split lamp setup with the LED DRLs and the large headlamps gives it that premium flavor, a very European look if you may.
Having said that, this overall look is a bit too busy for my liking, and Renault could have toned it down a bit. At the same time, the rear section in comparison looks a bit dated, still carrying the same design traits of the first Kwid.
Now the model with me today is the top spec climber variant of the Kwid, and this is available in this nice new fiery red paint job. Now this is a dual tone treatment, and the contrast here is added by this black roof, while the pop comes from this white ORVM covers. Looks very nice. One of my favorite features though are these wheels, because you get what Renault calls dual tone flex wheels. What these essentially are, very smartly designed wheel covers that makes it look like alloys, and certainly this is a fine job, Renault. Inside the cabin, not much has changed compared to when the Kwid was last updated. You still get that 8-inch touchscreen infotainment system, which is now available from the mid-spec RXL option trim and above. You still get wired connectivity for Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. And you also get digital readout for the instrument cluster. Now this is premium enough and informative enough for a car in this segment, so that is still a good option to have. Also you get power windows on all 4 doors. Now you do not get a master control with the driver for the power windows, and the buttons for the front windows is also still inconveniently placed on the dashboard. Now I do not expect adjustability with the steering at this segment, but I would have loved Renault to offer height adjustable driver seat, because for big drivers like me that comes in very handy. Having said that, this climber edition with this mustard yellow trim and white pinstripes looks very nice and neat. Considering this is a small car, you do not expect much from the rear seat, but it is pretty decent. Now I am 5 feet 9 inches tall, and this is set to my driving position. Yes, my legs are rubbing against the front seat, but it is not that uncomfortable. Yes, I could do with better under thigh support, but shorter passengers can be comfortable in the rear seat. Yes, you cannot have 3 adults sit here comfortably. That is not possible. But yeah, you can have maybe 2 adults and possibly a kid here. One important addition here is that now you get rear seatbelt reminders, which is a good addition, but you still get lap belt for the middle seat passenger, which is something that Renault could have considered and offered us 3-pointed seat belts for all 3 passengers.
As for the rest of the safety bits, standard offerings include dual front airbags, anti-lock brakes with electronic brake force distribution, electronic stability program, traction control, and a tire pressure monitoring system as well. Also, while the lower trims get rear parking sensors, the top spec model come with rear parking camera. Hill Start Assist 2 is only offered with the AMD models.
Now under the hood, the Kwid gets the same 1 litre naturally aspirated petrol engine as before, and the power output remains unchanged. However, the performance seems to have gotten better, especially with the BS6 Stage 2 upgrade it got last year. Now, under 2000 RPM, you don't feel anything, and beyond 4000 RPM, everything seems to taper down a lot. But between that rev band, the Kwid is a nice peppy car. It's very engaging, the power delivery is also nice, and overall it keeps you entertained at all times, and I am loving it. Now this gearbox is a bit clunky, however the shifts are nice and precise. It slots in well and works well with the engine. Now for those who are looking for the convenience of an automatic, Renault also offers an AMT version with the Kwid, which comes with a rotary dial with a standard neutral, reverse and drive pattern. As for how the Kwid performs on the road, it has a very nice ride quality, and it takes on all the undulations on the road with great ease. Even on rough roads, this feels quite stable and minimal harshness seeps into the cabin. Handling wise also it feels decent. Yes, there is a bit of body roll, especially when you're taking a corner a bit too aggressively, but straight line stability is decent, and even when you're doing triple digit speeds, the confidence is intact.
With the 2024 update, Renault India has also consolidated the variant lineup of the Kwid, bringing the total count to 4 key options. The RXL trim has been dropped and the mid-spec RXL option variant now gets added creature comforts, which make it a more lucrative pick if you are on a tight budget. Prices for the 2024 Kwid start at 4,70,000 rupees and go up to 6,45,000 rupees ex-showroom.
It was back in 2019 when the Kwid received its last major update, and since then not much has changed. However, the pricing has gone up by a huge margin. Now, we can't do much about inflation, but when you look at features, the Kwid does check all the right boxes in terms of what you expect from a car in this segment. It also gets a very peppy engine, which is a lot fun to drive, and it is overall a nice car. But the segment itself is a bit more aggressive now. The competition has become tougher, and with just a slight premium, you could get something like a Tiago or a Celerio, which is a better product in terms of features and performance. So yes, the Kwid has its work cut out for itself, but all things said, it is still a very nice car that you can consider if you are looking for a small city hatchback.